Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of the Travel Coffee Break. I think it's going to be one of those short ones because I've not got any guests joined me so far, but you can if you are fairly quick, because all I'll do, as usual, is I'll talk for the next 5-10 minutes, and then give people a chance to join in. I've sent the invitations out to everybody on the invitation list, which you join by joining the Travel Coffee Break plus Google Plus page, and so you should have got them. If not, then I will. In fact, I'll do it now. I'll actually post it on the. So trying to find it. There we go. On the Travel Coffee Break event page, which I've also tweeted as well. So link to join is, and for this you need a Google Plus account. You need a device with a webcam and a mic, if you haven't done it before, and then you in back to it's always a nightmare of juggling windows, this thing. get back to here. There's also a if you're watching it from the event page, you can see there's a question and answer Q&A link on there, and you can actually ask questions by text into the Hangout. So do join me if you can. What was I going to talk about this week? Well, actually, I was going to talk about last weekend, because last weekend was, and we'd mentioned it a couple of times in preceding weeks, the Blogstock Blogger Festival out in Elstree, and that took place on Friday, kicked off at on Friday afternoon, and ran for 2 nights through Saturday, and then everybody packed up and left on the Sunday, and it was, I think, a spectacular success. Let me show you. Just do a screen share here. Let me show you. This is the. I just did a quick search on on Flickr, it was, to find people's photographs, and these are what I came up with. So you can see from there, this is the main part of the festival. Lots of people, lots of fun. These tents were absolute lifesaver. Over the weekend, we had this kind of weather. You can see the sunshine there, and we also had a torrential downpour on both nights, particularly the Friday night. And so these rather glamorous glamping tents that Hertz provided for its VIP delegates really came into their own. So everybody who's been raving about these tents, not only because they were rather nice, but also because they kept them mostly dry. And those people who are in the smaller little tents that you could buy with your ticket, they made a beeline for the large ones. So yeah, it was, in that respect, it was a typical camping exercise. Some people said, well, you haven't been to a festival if it hasn't rained, and others were saying, let me out of here, never again. But that didn't actually dampen the spirits of the festival itself. Here's some of the, actually that's not some of the smaller ones, but if I find a photograph of the smaller tents, I'll show you. But anyway, you can see lots of stuff going on. This is the Appleton tent, where they were mixing up Appleton rum cocktails. This is the teepee tent, which was hugely popular, had a busy program throughout, but nearly always seemed to be oversubscribed, with people literally having to sit out in the grass because there wasn't quite enough room in there. So for next year, hopefully, more room for them. This is the Expedia VIP tent, which was a complete lifesaver. So many thanks to Jill Lloyd and her team, because provided not succor in the form of alcohol and things like that, and comfy places to sit, but also in terms of power. They had some phone charging things there and plugs as well. So my laptop spent a lot of time there in between doing pop-up hangouts. Being recharged, so that was very useful. This is the marquee tent in here. A lot of talks going on in there, and also the that's the inside of one of those rather nice Hertz festival tents, and that's the end of those. And then it goes on to other block stock photographs. There were. Oh, here we are. Here's the Expedia charging racks. Absolute lifesavers. So then there were a couple of other venues as well. This is the program for the for the whole thing, and you can, if you want to, you can go to the Blogstock website and find out more about that. But anyway, the general sense is from all the tweets, and again, you only need to do a search for hashtag Blogstock on Facebook or on Twitter, pretty much anywhere, and you'll get the gist of how it was received. I think everybody felt like they had an amazing time, and so the general consensus is it will be happening again next year, probably about the same time, probably in August, but maybe offset by a week or so. And hopefully there were for this one about 200 delegates. They are. Let me go back to the screen here. There were about 200 delegates, and there's plenty of space for more. So hopefully next year it will actually grow physically. I think that particular site up in Elstree, it's the Aldenham Country Park. That particular field would take easily double the number, possibly even treble. So it looks like that's where it'll be again next year, and I know that Ruth Haffenden and Michael Ball and Paul Dow, who are the organisers, they run Traverse, who organise the thing. I know they're keen for it to happen again. And of course, now they've got all the systems in place. I mean, the agony of getting licensing for doing something like this has all been, they've gone through that pain barrier. So it should be a lot easier next year. So. Speaking of festivals, still nobody joined yet. If you want to join, then it's easy enough. Go to the event page, Google Plus event page. That's Travel Coffee Break. Search Google Plus for Travel Coffee Break, and you'll see the event there. And I've put the physical link, the manual way of getting in. And you can click on that and join. In the meantime, speaking of festivals, there are a couple more on the horizon. The next one is TBU Nantes, Travel Bloggers Unite Nantes, and that, he said, looking for the, I did actually put a link in here. Here we are. That particular festival will be taking place at the end of August, just into September, so only a couple of weeks away from that one. And the one after that will be TBEX Europe, and that's going to be in October and will be in Athens. And I'll just highlight that link there, and you should be seeing that now. Although I don't have any independent confirmation of that. This is a new app for Hangouts, the Showcase apps. So it takes a little bit of getting used to. Other pieces of news. I picked up something this morning that I think is rather fun. Over the by the way, this is. Let me just show you also. Let's get back to here and do a screen share there. This is the Travel Coffee Break website, travelcoffeebreak.com, and the reason I'm highlighting it is because of this post, which is the one about, ignore that picture, that wasn't taken at Blogstock, that was before the thing ever happened, so I needed an image of camping, basically. This is the program at Blogstock, but the reason I'm drawing your attention to it is that I did actually do some pop-up hangouts while I was there. I did a couple on the Friday, and I've actually embedded them now into that post, so you can find them all in one place. And these two here. This is the third one, which was not so much a pop-up hangout as a live stream. I actually just used a hangout, but I let it run for 50 minutes. And this is Mark Richards' Best Can Be, his blog, and his son Alex talking about consistency in the way that you blog, and that was in the marquee tent, and you can see that there. And then the final debate on Saturday evening, I also recorded, but for some peculiar reason which I really cannot get to the bottom of, it actually doesn't. It exists, but when you find it, you'll see that it's actually been saved at the end of the timeline, as it were. So you have to sort of click on the pause button, or rather the play button, then the pause button, and then it'll fire up. And again, that's about an hour's worth, and that just tracks the final debate. Was outside, slight amount of wind noise, but apart from that, you can see what's going on. So apologies for the techie thing there. And the only reason I can think of that it could possibly have happened is that the only thing I did differently on that particular occasion was I was about a third of the way in, not convinced that the quality, the video quality, was particularly good, and I started mucking about with the settings on the bandwidth usage, and it may be that somehow that upset it, so who knows. Anyway, nobody's asking any questions? No? Okay. So that just leaves me to about 13 minutes in. That just leaves me with the other thing I was picking up on this morning, which I think is really fun. Over the weekend, he said, trying to find, there we go. Okay, over the weekend there was quite a major event in the cruise world, in that Royal Caribbean finally floated out. Actually, they didn't. Their shipyard did, Meyer Werft in Papenburg in Germany, and it's an amazing yard. I've been there a couple of times, and it is just, you cannot believe the size of it. They build the world's largest cruise ships indoors, and on the weekend they floated Royal Caribbean's latest ship, Quantum of the Seas, out. Now, Quantum's the first of a new class of ships. The next one will be Anthem of the Seas, and so lots of people were interested. She's got lots of different new innovations on board, including this rather peculiar, I don't know how to describe it really. It's like a crane arm on the top. It's an observation pod. You get into a pod rather like you would on the London Eye, except it's a round one, and it dangles from an arm, and it literally swings out over the side of the ship, and allows about 10 people in it to view the ship from about 30 meters. But one of the things that nobody had mentioned, they've kept very, very quiet, was suddenly revealed on the weekend when they floated her out. And if I can find the link here to my, this is my site, this is Travel Lists, and the article I wrote this morning about it. Come on, let me, honestly, let's get back to, okay, that's not going to let me do it. Get back to him. Yeah, there we are. Right, sorry, it's like I say, it's a nightmare jiggling windows, and sometimes they won't let you. This is the thing I was writing about it this morning, and what was fascinating about it was that they actually did send out a press release this morning, but there were no images on it. This little image, I don't know if you can see it, is taken from the webcam on the top of the Meyer Werft shipyard building, and this one was actually taken, I think, in the last couple of days. But you can see there that little pink bit. That is a 30-foot pink polar bear. Actually, Sebastian Winkelmann got a better image of it there. Again, I think that's probably from the webcam on the weekend, and you get a better sense of the size. If you want to find out more about it, then go to the little post that I made, because there is actually a little video, and you can see it in more detail there. But it's basically, it's a work of art. It's created by Denver-based artist Lawrence Argent, and they have a collection of 2,980 pieces on board Quantum of the Seas, and this is probably the biggest of them. It's made up of 1,340 stainless steel triangles, and the piece helps guests explore the ship's art theme by showcasing intangible qualities of what makes life worth living, such as peace, love, joy, gratitude, and passion. I think it's just going to be a photo op, really, but it is it is quite dramatic, and it will stand out. And I can just see. Let's get back to here we are. Get back to me. I can just see skippers and crewmen on watch on container ships and other commercial vessels all around the world, peering through binoculars as this ship goes past, maybe 4 or 5 miles away, trying to work out what the hell that pink thing is standing on the upper deck. I think it's a great. It's a great innovation and a little quirky, and it's amazing they were able to keep it secret right up until today. Okay, and I'll just, while I'm about it, if you want to see that, then I think I've got a link for that as well already set up. Yes, there it is. So you can see that one too. Okay, nobody's showed up. Had a couple of people tuning in to watch, but in that case, where are we? 17 minutes past. I think that's enough for this week. We get a specific subject and some guests already lined up for next week. So until then, usual place, usual time, 7 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon, UK time. Then bye for now.